Welcome into the Invest Well show. This is the bonus segment. Of course, I'm your host, Michael Wall. You guys may not know, but we're changing the process a little bit. I'm really excited with the show. We're going to be doing stagnant shows, about 10, 12 minutes long throughout the month. And then we're going to add in some bonus segments from time to time with hot topics, trending topics, things that are happening in the investment world to keep you up to date. And today I just want to weigh in just briefly on what happened with the Fed. You probably saw it all over the news. We want to talk about it, how it connects with your investments today on the Invest Well show. All right, so the Federal Reserve has met. The minutes are out, and they're in a place where they're saying this year, 2022, they are expecting at least 2, potentially 3 rate hikes. We also know that they are going to be essentially pulling back the amount of money they're infusing into the economy. We talked about that on a show prior, and this is something that has caused, obviously, a little bit of concern for people. What's going to happen with markets? Where is that going to push markets? We saw when the Fed did that, yesterday, which was January 5th, we saw a big market pullback. And so the question really becomes, for many of you that are investors out there, should I change the course of what I'm doing with my investments, and what does that mean to you? I think that's the question that a lot of you have. That's why I wanted to take a minute and just weigh in on this. So first off, let's talk about interest rates rising. When you think about the interest rate being raised, essentially what does that do as it trickles down to the overall economy? Well, what it does first and foremost is it causes the ability for a little bit of a slowdown for the overall economies. Why? Well, because when interest rates start to rise, you have less people borrowing money because money becomes more expensive. So, building of homes and buying of things that need for a loan would arise starts to diminish, and that overall slows the economy or slows the curve of growth in the economy in general. We've seen a massive amount of inflation as well, and that's one of the reasons, kind of supply demand. The Fed is in charge of easing that if they can. Now, one of the things I'll say in relation to your investments, as people are saying, okay, well, Mike, what does that mean in relation to me? Because now I see interest rates that are rising. It's going to happen, and that may slow the economy overall down. But how does that affect markets? How does that affect me? Where are you in the stage of life, right? Are you near retirement? Are you in the financial red zone? Are you 10, 15 years from retirement? Are you younger? Where are you in that stage? That is so crucial. Because I think if you are closer to retirement, this is a time you got to wake up and you got to think a little bit differently. I think coming off market with some of your investments is a good idea. I think thinking about efficiency with your portfolio is a good idea. I think thinking about risk mitigation and protecting against loss is a good idea. Will the markets continue to rise? Maybe, maybe not. We know that this year there's going to be a lot of tax changes potentially coming as well from the Biden administration. It's already been talked about. That's going to be coming out. Cap gains rates may change. Ordinary income tax rates may change. And so there's a lot of things on the table this year. But I think it's just important to take a minute and talk about what happened in the Fed minutes and how does that directly affect you. I do believe that the markets have priced in a little bit of this rate hike. And by that, I mean, I think there's a lot of analysts on Wall Street that believe or knew in advance that the Fed would probably raise the rates twice this year. So I think a lot of it, the reaction that happened yesterday on January 5th of the markets going down and pulling back, I think was a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction. So if you're committed to the markets long-term, this might be a good idea to buy the dip. But I think if you're older, 50, 55 plus, this is a good idea to maybe making sure, again, you have efficiency in buying and rebalancing in your market portfolio, but also looking for ways to reduce overall risk. I think that's so important. So let me leave you with this. I want to leave you with this thought. As you listen to this and as you hear a lot of the noise that exists out there in the marketplace today, whether it's what's going on with the Fed, whether it's what's happening with the administration, whether it's what's going on with some of these new policies, the move and the push to go to EV, electric vehicles, and all of these other things that are occurring. I think we have to understand that there's always opportunity out there. But sometimes what got us to where we are is not what's going to get us to where we need to go. So my encouragement to you is think outside the box, be open to new ideas, and don't get stuck in your ways. That way, when new ideas do arise and come along, as you research and take the time to find the right thought to help you with your investments, you're ready, you're open, and then more importantly, you can implement. A lot of people know a lot of things, but not everybody implements. And as you become a good implementer, what will happen is you'll see the level of success grow in your investment life. Well, hey, thanks for dialing in to this short bonus segment. Do me a favor, share this with someone that needs to hear it, because people are probably alarmed and a little bit concerned right now. What's going on with what's happened with the Fed and all of these things, and we want to make sure that we're sharing information that's viable and helpful along the way. As always, we appreciate your thoughts and comments. Make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, you subscribe. If you went to investwellshow.com, if you're listening via podcast, that's a great way to connect with us, leave comments, interaction, what you'd like to hear on the show. And as always, my desire in life is for you to live on purpose so you can live with purpose. Be blessed. Talk to you soon. Keep in mind, the information shared on this show is not to be considered investment advisory advice. For specific recommendations based on your situation, make sure you reach out to a professional, whether it be financial, accounting, tax, attorney, or whatever you may need to help you find the information necessary to make good decisions.